Thanks for staying with us. This morning, we shine a light on a viral scandal that has many Nigerians asking tough questions. A video showing students at Excel College, Ejigbo, smoking, drinking, and dancing in the school hostel. Excel College has confirmed parts of the video are real, and the Lagos State government, along with the police, has launched investigations. Critics argue this is a wake-up call, a failure of supervision, discipline, and moral guidance in schools. Today, we discuss not just the incidents, but underlying patterns, how schools enforce discipline, the role of parents and guardians, the pressure on youth in urban centers, and what systems must change to protect our children's welfare. What are your thoughts on this? I'm sure many of us have seen the viral video, and I would like to know what came to your head when you saw that video. Aside from the video, there was a write-up, more like a report on what actually happened. And some parents came out, somebody said that the child was, celebrating her final birthday. It was a school saying that one of the videos was actually true, but it was non-alcoholic wine that was gotten. And the children were shown popping the wine and all of that. The second video, they also confirmed that the children were playing a game and trying to smoke. The name of the game is something pass, smoke and pass, or something like that.
Can we just confirm, were they current students or ex-students?
Current students who were about to write their final exams, yes. So, the two videos were real, coming from the school, and the police has launched investigations. But what did you think when you saw the video and saw the comments?
Okay. I felt disappointed, of course, as a parent, watching young children experimenting, but we all know how peer pressure works with kids. One child comes in, no matter the value that you have given your child, comes in with an habit they picked up from anywhere. In our time, it happened from videos that they watched, young girls trying to do things, people wanting to party, do things that, adults were doing. And so they found a way. Teenagers have this resilient spirit they can deploy positively or negatively. And so the video, I was like, this still happens. With all the parenting, you would think that everything that is happening in your head is what is happening in the world. As a mom, that's our biggest fear. That, we'll find our kids in situations like this. When I saw there was this part where they were passing the thing they were smoking, and it didn't look like cigar. It didn't look like cigarettes.
It looked like paper.
Our time,
Folded paper.
Most of them were caught. It was rolled up paper. So a lot of them were caught smoking cigarettes, and they were beating blue-black. And cigarettes is not even, it's learning grades to the grades of this thing I saw.
Yes.
And so I was like, this is the fear of every parent. I can only imagine, because their faces were visible. What the parents of each of them be thinking in their houses right now. People go down, hypertension go down, they worry some parents, And I was like, this is the problem of supervision. We all bring our kids, we donate them to a group of people who are supposed to be in guardianship of the kids. And then every time a video like this surfaces, you see them collecting money but failing at it. Running businesses where the supervision is not happening. Those days when we were growing up, as my school was a mixed school. In fact, in just one, my class was 99 students alone, just one diamond alone, talk less of the entire set. In my class, seating capacity was 99, as in they arrange chairs, 5, 5, 5, 5, and we have rows all the way back. And I remember that our parents' fear was somebody found a way to know who. Myself and my elder sister were in the same set. And somebody was able to spot the difference, to know us, to know each person's traits. Those are the businesses of, guardians, school teachers. I went to my school, godson, let me put it like that, school, and I saw one boy. He was jumping on the trampoline and somebody had already beaten him. And then there was no teacher in view. It was another child that was saying, this boy has beaten Zaid. This boy, and I was leaving. When I saw the boy, it was also like a toddler. I just cool down and said, maybe here you go, come carry your cape, come, behave yourself, But if I was upset that, a teacher should have seen that happen. and his lashes were already wet. He shows when he has cried and has finished crying, you will notice it from me. I usually use that to check on his parents too when I visit her. This boy has been crying. I saw it was a bit wet. You know, so this is a small child. The role of the supervisor is usually undervalued. He's not undervalued, underestimated by the school people themselves. Anybody who can be distracted by their phone, one thing or the other, shouldn't be in that space, because a lot of things happen in that space. Yeah. The time when we were talking about my son's abuse, I was asking, who is sitting on the CCTV? Where is the CCTV? Is there? But who sits on it? So who's supposed to be watching it live? These are the other time we had this group of students who had traveled. It was supervisor role that we were talking about, because if somebody was there, any one child can bring any habit, but the others will not call it fun. If the supervisor stems that one child, immediately starts. But you see, when they place a camera and do a full video and enjoy themselves, supervisor did not show face at all. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but I know that Lagos State is on top of it. I want to see how it plays out, and I believe that this school should be feeling some kind of way by themselves.
This was since April.
No, Lagos State is investigating
now, yeah,
because the video came out.
Surfaced, the video surfaced.
So for me, it's, you know, I just always pray that we know that children get to a certain age where they just want to experiment, try out things. Sometimes it's the very thing that you have taught them not to do. They want to rebel and know why and experiment it. And our prayer is that in their experimentations, may they not do something that destroys their lives forever. You know, so as much as I hear Nima talk about the failure of supervision of the guardians, either at home or in school, there are many times that it is not that. It is just these are children being so rebellious, wanting to experiment, finding ways to do it in such a way that you don't catch them. They understand where all your eyes are, and they find different ways to, you know, just circumvent that. So there's also that, you know, and that video, to be honest, I know something that even happened to me much closer, like very close to home, where a student who very close to me was about to graduate. Amazing, you know, young boy, leading the school in academics, athletics, and everything. He was the poster child of a well-brought-up boy who was representing not only his family well, but his school well. And then a day before their graduation, all of them feeling like, hey, they're about to graduate. Parents had come from all over the world to this school to come for the graduation the next day. This group of children found a place where they were drinking, smoking, everything, and the video was sent to the school. Oh, no. And the parents were called in. This was hours before the graduation. What the school did was not to allow them graduate. So even though that person, this particular person was supposed to have gotten all these accolades, nothing, you know, we just collected his certificate. So the thing that the school did was, you know, because of your parents, this was even a lenient approach. You know, it would have been much worse. If they were staying in the school, they would have been expelled, but they had finished. But okay, so we'll give you your certificate. So there will be issues like this where children will go out of their way to just be stupid. You know, sometimes when I look at children today and they do something, I'm like, were we that stupid? Like, the stupidity is, like, can't you see? Can't you even think of yourself in 2 or 3 years, what this might mean to you or to your life? But they don't think that way. They think of, this is now, I need to show. And then the thing of being, I need to be part of the cool kids, you know, I need to belong. So that's wanting that sense of belonging is also quite high, you know, among that age. So you want to have a group, you want to have a community, and they find themselves doing things that they know is wrong, but it makes me be part of something. What we can just do is just keep being vigilant. We have to definitely punish those who have been caught doing something wrong to serve as a deterrent for all the other ones coming ahead. You know, as parents, we use that video or the punishment to say, look at what may happen to you if you continue to go down this path, or if you think that this is the path that you should go, these are the consequences of such actions. So all we have to do is just keep supervising, keep talking to them, and hopefully we'll see less of this. That's it.
What were your thoughts?
No parent wants to be here. People are calling out the school, and I know it is very easy to call out the school. but it isn't just about the school. Yes, the school have their responsibilities, but it isn't just about the school, because even with my kids, with the level of shielding that I have shielded them, I still discover things and I'm wondering how, from where.
They are growing.
That is life. Children will grow, children will find loopholes, children will find, if it's like my maid now carries the beverages into her room when she wants to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And my husband came home very late, around midnight one day, and he was like, he wants to drink tea. He feels like taking tea before going to bed. And I was like, beverages would be, we looked for it everywhere. We couldn't find it. I said, beverages would be in Peace room. Let's go and knock. Let's wake up. Should we wake Peace up? I said, I want to drink tea, I don't understand. Why is she locking up? I say, my children, they have developed a very high level of discovering everywhere that you hide it. True. And they will heap the cup full of different concoction and just lick it. And when my house girl reports to me with the intention of me, I said, see, I did worse. My dad hid the milk, as in like, they hid the beverages everywhere. I will discover everything where it is and I will finish it. To the point that they now put the 3 bottles, sugar, cocoa and milk in the center table of the living room, that it is in front of you.
You don't need to hide
it. Maybe it's adventure that's making you look for it.
That is the way children are. I had to remember that I did it. So the more you say don't do it, is the more they would want to try it. So it is educating and not threatening. You must educate the child to see why they shouldn't do it, the consequences of not doing it, the impact of doing it. Now, what people do in other countries is involve idle minds. Children cannot be idle. Keep them in sports. Yeah. Any child that knows the consequence of drinking, smoking, and doing all sorts of things on their sporting activity, and there's a consequence to it, they will not do it. So a lot of people end up being clean just because I can't afford to do this. I would miss out on my game. It would impact on my...
I won't play well.
I won't play well. So give them something else. But you cannot take children away from activities that would engage them. Something has to engage them. Is either they are doing stuff with the opposite sex, or they are doing stuff with drugs and all of that. You need to occupy them. They need outlets. They have too much energy. Their body is raging with so much hormones, and their life is just so, everything is just out there. So there's little to stop them if we don't adequately educate them, properly occupy them, and provide supervision. And there must be stiff consequence. If you catch one, don't let it go. When you let one slide, when you forgive one, others will see it going, and they would they would think they can get away with it. So we must, if we say, oh, children have access to their phone just for this, then it must be the only reason. And its impact on others, because if SS3 students did it and they graduated, the other SS1 person too will feel like...
It might become ritual for graduation.
Graduation ceremony, we do all sorts of things.
Let me just do...
My sister.
We need to deal with this.
Let's take a short break now. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines for calls and messages on this topic. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still discussing this conversation, talking about students who were caught smoking, drinking, and making a video of it. And I would like you to join the conversation and call us on 02016 352013 or 09024163440. Tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. So recently, that was last week, I was at my son's tea party in class, you know, the very first engagement with the parents and the teachers, getting to know the new class and the new teacher. And I was called upon to give like an advice. And when I stood there, I was talking about character, I was talking about focus, and some of the things I was saying. And as I was saying it, I was looking directly at my son. Yes, because you know, teenagers at this at this point in their life, they want to try so many things. They give into a lot of distractions. They forget why you are paying the fees you're paying to be in the school. So as I was talking with my authority in the voice, I was looking straight at his eyes. In my head, this advice is not just for everybody, it's for you. Because if you come home and meet me with some nonsense report, I will not take it. And that, you know, also reminded me of some of the things I noticed during the holiday, because then I was with them from morning till night every day for about 30 days. You know, when we go to work and come back, sometimes you don't really engage. They're in school, they come back, they're tired, they do their homework, they are in boarding house. But for 30 days, I was with these children and they were triggering me every 2 minutes. My head is popping. I'm like, what? Did I do anything wrong? Did I not teach this one properly? Did I not do this? In fact, I mentioned it here earlier. I had to go and bring my book. I was looking for my book. My husband was like, what are you looking for? I said, let me read some things, maybe to help me understand where they are and how, so that I don't overreact, just to remind myself that these are teenagers and they need hands-on. You cannot afford to step back and feel they can handle themselves. But I want to ask a question. When we were growing up, our housemasters, house mistresses had authority. Aside from the fact that they use beating to kill almost all of us, which we are against now, but they had authority that when they come out and they speak, you're afraid. You're afraid of consequences. But right now, do you think that we parents have somewhat taken away some of the authority those housemasters and house parents and teachers have? Because when they chastise your son, we have people who will carry their bag and go to school and fight. What role do you think we parents have played to minimize their hold and their authority that is making it affect our children now?
So the role, because I play it, so I would try to put a balance in. It's important to still play it. You have to, it's collaborative parenting. There's no way you relinquish all your powers to one person and give them so much authority, because we suffered some of them.
Nima, can I hold you a bit? I'll take Samuel and I'll come back to you. We have Samuel from Yaba. Good morning, Samuel.
There's no way you relinquish all your powers to one person and give them so much of. Samuel and I'll come back to you. We have Samuel from Yaba.
Samuel, you're listening to the TV. We can't take you.
Samuel, I'm Omolala, Mrs. Badru.
Mrs. Baju. Okay, good morning, Mrs. Baju.
How are you?
Okay, Baju.
You're live, Mrs. Baju. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Lima, go ahead.
So
please.
it's collaborative parenting. Some of us suffered where our parents gave so much authority. I used to say it here. I was, at the mercy of the aunties. If you did not greet one auntie where she comes to tell your mother a side of the story, nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody used to ask you, oh yeah, waiting happen. You don't have a side against an elder. And so we knew what some of us suffered from these stories. And so we believe that we must listen to the side of the child. And so we collaborate. If my child comes home and tells me something happened in school, or a teacher I will find out if it was an abuse or a correction. I will find out. I will come to school. The teacher is going to see me. So we're at that stage where that collaboration must happen. And if we bring it into this picture with a bit of carelessness, we might just wash off the seriousness of those problems that we had. Okay. But there's something that they also did in school, because as a young person, as a teenager, you have this rush of energy. You want to explore something.
Adrenaline, everything.
So sports, other activities, extracurricular activities were used to drain that energy off of the child. You had something that you were not trained. You were not left idle. I don't know what's happening now because of this, our gadgets that we are giving to children now. Children no longer do any form of sports that they really, really, really would, be distracted by. In my house, I remember when I engaged my daughter at 4 to learn hairdressing. I know they find her now. If I shout at her 2 times, she's already doing something. You will meet her, all the socks in the house now, she will knit the edge. You buy socks, my daughter will knit the edge. So she's always engaged. The person I'm worried about that I'm looking for all the time in the Catholic Church backfield is the boy, because I have not been able to engage him. So we had things that, schools ought to do. I remember then, people who were doing volleyball in school, people were traveling interstate, the national military schools sports, people, they had energy that was already utilized, expired.
At the end of the day,
there was nothing else they wanted to do but go for that sport. Maybe if they get one time to do one party, everybody go down tire. I don't know whether these things are still in schools, but we need an international secondary school sport, things like that everybody will channel their energy towards, because these are young boys. Did you see those boys? So energy. Young boys. You know, I'm just worried. Really.
Do you think it's widespread, this misbehavior, or just, you know, one-off and different? Has it become worse? Like, is the number become worse? Like, do we have like half a school behaving that way? I think it has just always been that you find a group of people who would misbehave, and as being parents, you know, we're just so scared and we paint everybody, hey, but there are some children that are minding their business and doing what's right. You know, that's just to help allay some of our fears, because this parenting, if you do it with fear and trepidation, you don't be beating people that don't need to be beaten. But you know, when you said, what have we, like, how have we contributed to this? And for me, this saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I've been thinking about this, especially concerning boarding schools and having seniors in boarding schools. So my children's school, they don't have that hierarchy depending on your class and how seniors used to behave towards us. Like a senior can send you on errands, a senior can punish you for not doing what you're meant to do, you know. And it taught the seniors a form of responsibility, you know, and the juniors were also afraid not to misbehave, even when there were no teachers or parents or guardians there. Just knowing that you had a senior there watching you, be careful, right? So there came a point where there was abuse, and I feel that we threw the baby out with the bathwater. We threw the concept of just making sure that we were raising children who were responsible for other young ones, the younger ones learning that they need to be respectful of those ahead of them. We packed everything and we threw it out.
Miriam, let me pause you. I have to take this call. Baju, Mrs. Baju, good morning. Are you there? Baju. Sorry, we lost that. Yeah. We have to go on a short break now. When we come back, Miriam will continue her analogy. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Still on the topic, Miriam was making a point for us.
Yes, so I was just talking in, you know, how we have just totally thrown out the good and the bad, you know, concerning boarding school. And that is the same thing also that applies with schools and teachers towards our children and how they wield their authority. The fear of intimidation and abuse and being called to face some legal issues, you know, schools have decided to be careful. We now have parents who are educated, well influential, well connected. We heard of a story of someone that drove to his child's school, took the principal of the school in front of all the students, put the principal in the boot and drove the principal out for daring to beat their child. You know, so those are the things that, so now we're in a society where everybody is afraid of this sort of behavior, legal implications as well, and say, you see, this is what we can do for you and how far. We may mention to you that your child is misbehaving, then you handle your child as you see fit. But really, I don't think we're helping each other. We need to come back to what Nima said, that collaborative parenting, collaborative schooling. When they're in school, we're still involved, you know, and encouraging the teachers to do it, you know, as long as it's not in an abusive manner. Please, I always make sure I say, please, with my child, let me know. Punish my child. If you think my child, I say, if you cannot, tell me, the mother. Tell me, I will come to the school and I will tell him. I also tell my child in front of the teacher, your teacher is allowed to punish you if you do anything. Please let me know. And I think also that the teachers want to hear you say that, like, okay, and I find that the teachers come to you more to say your child behave a certain way, knowing that, okay, this particular parent wants discipline for the child. Yeah. So, but really as a society, I think we need to sit back at the table and discuss how we want our teachers to be able to parent our children when we're not there. Give them the authority, but then that does not mean that we're encouraging abuse.
Yeah,
you know?
Responsibility.
Yeah.
So, to your question about what could have happened, because over time, you know, Nima mentioned the fact that there was a lot of abuse. There's still probably a lot of abuse going on in some schools right now that the house-masters or teachers are abusing the children. So parents stepping up to defend their child is extremely important. There were comments on YouTube. Somebody was saying that whenever anybody reports me, my mom never believes me. She'll just listen to the person. But I like that my dad always
would ask
my own opinion and believe whatever I say, that it makes me feel heard. So I think it's extremely important that we balance it, because the way people see things might be a bit different. I've been in situations where, like I said, children can be very naughty, especially as teenagers. It's just in the space of experimenting. A lot of naughtiness, like, why did you unscrew that? Like, what were you trying to find? What were you looking for? Like, do you understand how much I used to buy this thing that you just unscrewed and you just kind of like, I don't get it. But if I allow the anger based on, remember Bobby's story, where he said he saw broke how many television, and that many people were breaking TV, people are beating up their kids because they can't afford to buy another one. And so the reaction is not based on the child, it's based on the financial state of. Long and short of the story is the I feel like if we take statistics of the house-masters and teachers we've had over the past 30 years, 40 years, decade by decade, and analyze the quality and the age and maturity of people that we are leaving to help us manage our children, we would understand why there's a lot of talk back with our children and a lot of issues with raising the children, because you cannot compare when you have teachers who understand, they've studied child psychology, they've been teachers for decades, they've raised your child, your kind of,
the size of your child.
They have kids older than you, and so when you're talking to them, it's a different experience. I have had someone take my son in year 1, went to school, had a child, came back, and is now taking my child in year 4, and there was a difference. Just the 2 years of doing her masters and having a child, I could see the maturity. It's a different thing, because she wasn't a mother before. Now she's a mother. It's different. I see the assistant teacher, the younger men, and I see the older married men. The way they talk to me as a parent in the class is different. So when the school employs based on account balance, and we have created an economy that has demonized and not support teachers or honor teachers, we are going to suffer it, because our future is our children, and our children are at cost. So if everybody is feeling like I'm too big to be a teacher, I want to go and chase money, who will teach our children? There are women I've seen in my children's school, and I honor them, because I'm like, I know how intelligent this woman is. I've seen her post on social media. I know that this she's doing is passion all the way. And I celebrate her, even though she's no longer teaching any of my children. It is important that we honor teachers so that they don't feel the need to chase something else outside. And we put mature people. You were talking about teenagers. They are online. They know what's up. They know what's up. They know what is happening. They know the effect. They know the highlights. They know everything. So when you're talking to them, they know you. Are you talking about the children that you took to abroad? They have laptop. They know the teacher does not have a laptop. You know the way they would look down.
But that is where the problem is. I'm going to come to that.
We need to raise. Yes. Well, it's not. I'm not talking about. I'm saying we need to raise we need to help our teachers to boost them to understand the authority they have. Not subjected to money, or they should be repressed based on the environment they find themselves. It comes with maturity. There are things I can do now. I'm 40, and the things I could not do when I was 30. I couldn't do it then. I didn't have the maturity to do it.
I agree with you, but there's also another flip side to it. But let me take this call, and I would answer that. We have a caller from Alimosho. Are you there?
Don't listen to the TV.
We can't hear you. You are listening to the television.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
Good morning, Reverend Dominic.
Can I go on? Can you hear me? Give me a signal.
Yes, we can.
Hello, can you hear me?
You are listening to the TV. Just go on. Just go on.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Let's straight to the point. Ladies, there's advantage and disadvantage in everything.
Okay.
I'm communicating, yes. There's advantage and disadvantage in everything. The advantage, the way we are trained in Africa, outweigh disadvantage of what we are seeing today. Where nobody will talk to a child, where nobody will scold a child. Please remember, all of you here, I'm a pastor. I go to American pastors. One of the greatest pain is that they cannot talk to their children, they cannot scold their children, they cannot beat their children. They are dying in silence. We are rejecting people who are dying in silence in the way they train their children that have turned evil today. We in Africa have the best way to train children. Many years ago, our parents in London, in America, bring back their children in Africa for training, for culturing. But today, we in Africa, who have the best culture of training children to come out the best, are imitating people who are in shame. What I'm trying to say is this: we must go back the way we train children in Africa. If there's a teacher who is abusive, we take him or her out of the system.
Okay.
We must go back there if we must have good children and go to have training in Nigeria. The best way to train children is the way our fathers train us. There's no other way. There may be abuse here and there. Yes, money is good. Money is good. But money, if you see somebody misuse money, you thought that money is evil. If you see somebody use money very well, you know the power of money. That way to train children in Africa, this is why you are here speaking English this morning, the way you are trained. All of you here have African training. That makes you the good girl you are today. Our children are messing up. Your own and my own. There's no doubt about it. The way we are training them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Dominic. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up this topic. Yes, it's just so painful. But I've heard you ladies. I wanted to quickly answer to say that I heard her in terms of maturity, but there's also what they call training, right? Every school should have a method of doing things where whether you're young and you're passionate. I was a teacher I finished NYSC and I had a job in the bank, but I wanted to teach. I was passionate about teaching. And what they did for me was to camp me as a graduate trainee and trained me on their way of doing things for I think about 6 to 8 weeks. We had the templates, we had everything. We're doing regular trainings and I entered as a professional teaching with their methods. So we can also do that. And funny enough, the children loved the fact that we were young. They listened to us more because we were like them. When we wear the muftis, we all mixed together and they paid attention to us. I was in preschool, I was having classes in secondary school as well, and they were my friends and they listened in my class. So it's not really about, and some of us also went into the boarding house where they became house parents and they had fantastic kids listening to them. So sometimes it's not really about the age, it's about the training. What training are these schools giving to these teachers to show professionalism on how to handle those young people and also their parents? But
I personally have always preferred younger teachers. They understand what you're dealing with, you know. And a badly trained older teacher also really does some very horrible things. And then a badly trained young teacher would also face, you know, those issues. But for me, I think the more closer, and it's not closer in age because we are talking of people that are at least, you know, in their late 20s to early 30s. So there's definitely a huge gap between a teenager and that person. It's about teaching respect really at home. You know, and this, can I just add this? And this thing of the fear of your own child has all these things and their teacher does not have this. I think we need to do a lot of work at home. If you're the sort of parents that make it seem that this thing is so important in life above respecting another adult or someone that doesn't have, it will show because there are many children that come from very wealthy homes and they don't express themselves that way. True. So parents need to work on that as well.
Thank you so much. We've looked at all the aspects of this conversation. It's something that we'll keep talking about from time to time, and hopefully we'll see how Lagos State government gets into this business and carries out the proper investigations. But we are cutting off to join a live broadcast. Viewers can continue watching Your View show by scanning the QR code on the screen. It's a live on strengthening legislation. House Committee on Constitution Review hosts a public hearing live in Abuja at the moment. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll move on to the next topic for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned.